thinking about something interesting. Like, I know somebody from the Facebook, and I've always thought about when people say, like, I love you, I love this, I love you, hug, hug, and then they write down the hugs, and then they do those kind of things. But what I was realizing was, I think that when people say I love you and stuff, it's not like, I mean, there's different ways to measure love. Love means to care and respect and, take care of or be concerned with a attending type personality or way. But I think that people sometimes also turn on each other more too easily. They need to know the strength of a bond, because if you don't know the strength of a bond, then your word about love is almost just a way to make goody-goody with people. Love is a word meaning to care and have a high feeling for and understand them, but you shouldn't go throwing it around. I rarely say I love you to people unless I mean it, because you got to make a trueness to that. You got to make your words do that. You have to devote yourself to your word. Otherwise, you always look like you're schemers, sneaky ones. And when I see the peoples on the Facebook or the things that say I love you and a hug, I mean, love is good. It's beautiful and care. But can't just, you gotta mean it, you gotta mean that for that. But then I noticed that some things is about people, they just start saying a lot of good stuff, but it's like they could divide more easier for that, just to, making it good isn't good enough when someone wants to say they love. If they say they love, they gotta be devoted. Love is to love existence, to love the care of it, the natural, the natural love and care and respect for others, I mean, I think you got to love, yes, to love existence. That's what it's really about. You gotta be thankful for what's good for you and love it. But if you don't love, then it just feels like you wish you would not exist. And I think because of pain, you don't want to exist. But, love makes you feel valued and stuff. But I sometimes wondered to myself, do people consider that somebody who clings to others is weak and less strong or less capable to bear the open void invitation of life and existence? But thinking about it myself, I say that love more so is needed by some people because they're more weakened to life. They're fragile. So they latch onto someone else to support the insecurities that they themselves won't feel. Then there's another kind of love. And I don't know about that love. That's why people divide and divorce, because they were confused by oxytocin and allure. If you say you love your relationship, what if they get fat? What if they get hurt or wounded and stuff? Well, they don't look as pretty anymore. Love is tested to the extreme, certain meanings. But people are bastards, because the word only lives as long as the person wants. Other people are sick monsters, filled with promises, but breaking them. Even on the time, people will say a good nice thing, but they will pick others over you. Because it's human in his greatness is somebody who is loved and devoted to all that they choose. And that is the human, that is the true human. But the monster is not devoted. The monster eats and devours what it needs to ensure its survival. Existence didn't necessarily say the rules, but it said it. That the monster lives, or the monster is absolute, or the human. Maybe I chose the human not to be a monster, because I wanted to feel good about the human being, because I am a human being. So when I think about it, this feeling of insecurity and lack of self-confidence is in many beings. Humans, insane creatures, given a more advanced mind, they have to struggle with it more. Even me, wrestling teetering with the thoughts, looking for the peace that come, wanting it, grasping at the wall for it. Even before I made this recording, I had to shrug off the anxieties of the naturalness or the fatigue of the mind or the wrong thought. When I think about love, I think about all the good, beautiful things in life. And I think about my gratefulness. And I think that means what love is. And, you think about your family, you think about your friend, you think about what makes existence so good to you. And then you love, you put your care to it. And then the love makes existence feel better. But this is the next step. It goes to your being. You gotta love yourself always too. You gotta start somewhere. And if you always whine about being weak, it's because you don't want to discipline and train yourself. But if you love life, you naturally grow. You naturally get better. Because you love existence. It's just the work of building up the mind and the self is improved a lot more when you love existence. If you hate it, feels a certain way. Like, I don't got too much love for society, and I don't like people really anymore too much. Only the nice ones and the kind ones, but for those mean, disrespectful ones. And the Christian philosophies and the ways about them talking about love one another and stuff, that really doesn't work in real life. It's a bit too beastic sometimes. The reality is you love existence, and you can have some adorations and affections for specific beings or individuals or creativity, but respect is more probably the mainstay when dealing with human beings. Love is pretty much a special gift or reward. People always worry about being accepted in meanings. But if you had to think about it, the two division, you love to save yourself, latching on to somebody else for your own insecurities. And when it makes it sound like that, it makes it seem like love is some sort of desperation thing. But when you think about you're going to love somebody just because you want to celebrate or love existence, that's the way it is. That's the way I am. I love because I want to celebrate it and get strengthened from it. If it isn't there, it doesn't mean it's decreased me. What an interesting thought about love. I guess some of the peoples on the Facebook made me think about this, because one person says, I love you. Hug you all. I love you. And then he goes, you don't care about me. You don't like me. Because his own insecurities makes him think that nobody cares about him. That he's willing to turn against anyone. He's willing to say, F you, Facebook, or screw this, screw that. It's because you need to accept those that are giving you kindness. You need to receive that. But if you keep self-doubting, that means you gotta love life in yourself. So even then, some people can't learn or accept or take the care that's there for them because they're too busy being caught up in their own doubt about life. For me, existence was a struggle. I had to accept what I'm in and feel good about it and love it. If I didn't love it, it would be as if I was in hell while existing, especially with the anxieties. Many people have killed themselves, wanted to give up with these situations. Some people have told me, I don't know what you do with a situation that I was in and given. Then I said to myself, I had to be content about life. I had to love it. That would be the only way to make it through. I had to find a way. But it wasn't a way. You had to create it yourself. You can't get the junk of, there ain't no such thing as pep talk. No cliche, none of that nonsense. Everything's real. Things can't be taught by psychologists all the time or made by medication. It has to be decided in the creativity of the person in themselves. And I know that more from analyzing and dealing with life. You need to look within and accept love of existence and love of yourself. I sometimes feel like I'm the strongest person in the world. But when I look at my anxiety, in my films, I feel like the weakest person in the world. And you have both of those conflicting all the time. I mean, I live because I love existence. I love the times. I love the history. I love my tea. If you say I want to exist because I drink tea, then it is enough. If you say I want to be with my cat, and I'm happy to be with my sister, or I'm happy to do this, and this is why I want to exist, it gets the job done at the end of the day. It works. Sometimes it put too much pressure on me that I felt like I needed to be the greatest person in the world, need to change it and do that. And then I'm just left to the same cycles, processes of life going on and on, same meaning. And when I think about it, when you want to be content, you just got to love life. But people get scared, sad. The crises of life are always knocking on the door all the time like this. A new botherment or problem each day. You don't have the right thought. Complacency botherments. Doing this and that. Expectation. It's almost a pain in the ass to try to make your life better rather than being thankful for what you do. But it's a sense of exploration when you need it. It all comes down to loving life at the end of the day. I think if people journeyed more for themselves to understand life and existence, then they wouldn't commit suicide or kill themselves when they were broken up or alone and doing that stuff. When people care more about the journey of life and existence and finding an answer, suddenly the path opens up. The mind sees something. There's something to seize where there is no one still supporting you. But you have to create this warmth, this inner love of life in you, that you feel that life holds you. As long as your body keeps ticking, it loves you. Keep going to search the meanings. Explore all meanings and question every meaning. The world is a lie. What is true is yourself in existence. Your will, your ways. Do not be aggressive. At least if you choose to be gentle. Love what you do. Create upon that. And this is universal for every person's dimension, every person's existence. When I think about it, I'm going to be more fascinated and having more fun with the conversations of why people may not like life, or at least have to find something to be pleased because they're bothered about being trapped and locked in the miserableness that is life. But this miserableness is only as miserable as you want it. This is coming from someone who knows pain hours every day, suffering with anxiety sometimes. And this person knows what it's like to feel the thankfulness where you could breathe a sigh of relief or go, I feel good. And you could be thankful and go, damn it, this feels good. And I got this goddamn tea or eating this good thing going. You're like, yeah, this is good. You got to feel the love of your life. For goodness sake, to like this existence. You got to accept that. And that's the truth. Love, 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 love existence.